All right, well, we're going to get started into this game in a second here. I think one of the players is actually paralyzed with fear, unsure how to start the game.
There we go.
All right, I hear the countdown. Here we go into the first match of the day. It's going to be Solar versus Trap, and spawning in the bottom left-hand position.
Well, first, Samsung Khan.
Okay, never mind. They always do that, man. They go to the opposite one.
Well, you know, Samsung Khan on the left side, STX on the right side. You know, always go to the left side first.
All
so
right.
spawning
On the bottom right-hand position on, I'll just call it the Newkirk map, it's going to be Solar from Samsung Khan.
Solar's opponent spawning on the bottom left position as the red Protoss, playing for STX. His name is Trap, and he forgot to start the game.
He did? I guess he didn't know what to do.
Okay, so I've been testing out the map when it got uploaded on Battle.net and didn't get released to the public. The players have to start.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, round 1, STX defeated Samsung Khan 4-3. Round 2, Samsung Khan defeated STX in the all-kill format 4-3. In round 3, STX took out Samsung Khan 4-2.
All right, so generally pretty close games regardless between these two teams here. And, of course, what a great way to start it off with a PvZ on Newkirk Redevelopment Precinct. I have no idea why they thought it was a good idea to name the map that, but as you guys can clearly see, this is not just some minor change here. They have essentially added in a lot of extra terrain to kind of get rid of the dead space in the middle of the map. I guess they wanted more alternative attack paths, and of course taking that expansion closer to your opponent's base. There's multiple attack paths to there, and I think they have also removed the destructible rocks from the location as well.
You mean at the base?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
So that's
of
nice.
course, like they renamed it this way because it just got redeveloped, and that's like popular term in Korea when they try to take down their apartments and try to redevelop it into much better apartments. And sometimes it becomes an issue when the people decide not to move out, but it's just a hot term that some people could use, and it just works out when it comes to Korean map name. When it comes to English, it's too long.
No, it doesn't. We could call it the NRP map.
NRP?
Yeah, let's call it the NRP, guys.
Oh, this is something that Trap really studied.
Yes, he definitely did. That's actually a location. If you get the two pylons off, you can get the cannons off in there. And look at that, even getting his probe out of there perfectly. And 3 cannons going down. Oh, Solar, he has to. Oh, he even managed to get those drones stuck in there, and the drones weren't even attacking for a little bit there. The hatchery gets canceled, and essentially the cannon rush had accomplished what it was supposed to. He can actually cancel one of the cannons and just have one remain.
Yeah. I don't know how many people on the stream watch my personal stream when I play Brood War. Probably like, maybe like 5 or 10 people. But I love bringing this back in Brood War because it was so tricky to get those pylons in position, but once you get it, the workers cannot get inside because of the different pathing back in Brood War. And I love to do this on Fighting Spirit. In Starcraft2, they had so many maps where there's like, so many areas between the minerals, but it seems like Trap really studied this map.
He definitely did, and now his cannon's going to complete in time, so any type of Zergling runaways are going to be ineffective on this map. And we're essentially just going to see Trap move into a comfortable, mid-game scenario, and he's just going to be very happy, very comfortable. He's got to be ahead in workers and expansions, and now there's awkward expansion placements for his opponent Solar. As a Protoss player, I'd be pretty happy now.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem, having the bases in the awkward position. If the Protoss player decides to go for sometimes 2-base push, you're not going to have the natural anymore. And once, for example, if Trap decides to attack into that third area, it's going to be hard to reinforce. The creeps are not going to be connected at all. You need to actually wait for the Zerglings and the Roaches to get there, but they're off the creep trying to defend against it, and the third base will get taken out. Something similar to what we saw in game number 1 between Bisu and Action.
So when it comes to timing attacks, getting your units to where they need to defend in time, that's everything.
Yes.
All right, so for our Protoss player, he hasn't showed us what he has in store for his opponent Solar quite yet. His core just finishing. We'll probably see a Stargate or a robotic start at any second here. And looks like we do have that Stargate on the way here. But Solar, I mean, he's got his overlords in position, so he'll be able to get some good scouting information off and should have a pretty good idea of what's coming his way by the time it comes.
When I was talking, I was trying to talk to a lot of players, but I ended up talking a lot with ZvP because he was so friendly with so many people out there. And he's been saying that Stargate as a Protoss player is like the go-to build in any matchup these days. And I wouldn't say for sure for sometimes in PBT because it's a good mix-up to have. And sometimes you just go regular robo play. But when it comes to PBC, going Stargate seems like it's the thing to do now.
It's the bread and butter of PBC at this point. The robo play was very popular for a long time. People did used to open up Stargate in the earlier Starcraft2 days. It kind of fell out of style, but people were using it less economically and more to try to do damage and really delay the third base of the Zerg player. But not so much anymore, really. Things have just changed. The metagame has certainly evolved. And now we do have some Phoenixes on the way here, and it's going to be up to STX Soul's Trap to, or sorry, excuse me, Samsung Khan's Solar to deal with it.
Stalker just poking out and trying to see if he can catch maybe one or two more Zerglings. But yeah, right now Trap is waiting for the third Phoenix, not showing it until the last second. His opponent Solar, he's getting a Roach Warren for himself.
Yep, getting that Roach Warren up, wants to make sure he can defend against any timing pushes. I actually think we're going to be seeing a 4-gate +1 timing at this third base here. And the Phoenix are going to be used as well to help support this army because, yeah, they're moving in here. I think they're going to do a little bit of scouting. They're going to see the queens here and be like, all right, he's got some queens. That's cool. What a cool story to see, man.
Yeah, he could even like try to sneak in inside the main base if he runs around the creep because he can actually force field there. Now, something that I'm disappointed is that if he actually had a sentry, he could force field the ramp and deny everything completely. So that's little things here and there that Trap could have thought about but didn't really think about. And it seems like now he wants to take out the cannon, but he's gonna see the Zealots.
Oh, look at this, though. The Zealots and the Cannons are going to force a cancel immediately. The Zealots there, they're going to be able to attack these Queens unhindered. The +1 has completed. The Zerglings, they have no speed as well. And with these reinforcements, the Queens, they're going to be able to get lifted up here. And one goes down. Another one is going to go down quite shortly afterward. These Zerglings, they cannot deal with these Zealots. Look at how flustered Solar looks right now.
Yeah, he could actually wipe out every single Queen, every single Zergling, and even possibly all the drones inside the main base. Those Zealots should not be ignored, and I don't know which units were warped in, but all he has to do is warp in a few extra units, pressure his opponent. So from Trap's point of view, this is a pressure. From Solar's point of view, this is a death blow.
This is death blow. Look at how many drones Solar has as well. He went up to 66. He's going down, though, actually. Yeah, I think he just overmade drones, like way too much there. He was not anticipating this attack at all. Now, the Roaches, they are going to be able to eventually clean up the Zealots here, but definitely that's certainly messed with Solar's head for sure.
And he also needs to pick up the drone before it makes a hatchery, but it seems like he doesn't have the energy.
Just barely. All right, well, even though there was some damage done here, the drone count is still very high, and it seems like we don't see a third base yet from our Protoss player.
Now he's getting the Immortals out. So one Immortal out, second Immortal, he's getting a Twilight Council, so unless he's going for some type of weird timing.
Both players are ironically supply blocked right now at the same time.
Well, it's the difference between getting the Overlords for the Phoenix and taking out the Cannon and the Pylon at the natural. Now, Solar, he's getting up to 5 hatcheries right now. He's trying to re-secure his natural expansion that he tried to go for earlier in the game. He's getting a Spire and
Infestation. But he's getting everything right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh, he's getting 8 Mutas.
Ooh, 8 Mutalisks are on the way. But the thing is, the Phoenix are out on the map. I mean,
well,
if he can hide the Mutas, I guess there could be useful. But, I mean, Phoenix is kind of counter Mutas unless you just have a crap ton of Mutas.
Well, he's getting up to 12 Mutas right now, and I don't see Trap making any more Phoenix right now.
And this army, it's equipped to deal with the Roaches, but they're not equipped to deal with the Mutas. And, oh, look at this. 1 Muta goes down. 2 is going to go down. 3 and 4. They're going to get sniped off immediately here. And, uh-oh, more Mutas are going to get sniped off as well. This is actually a terrible decision, I feel, from Solar. He is getting really unlucky. And now this Phoenix, they've managed to snap off a lot of Mutas. And now, I mean, pretty much she knows exactly what's going on at this point.
Yeah, if he just hit him at the last second and not straight to the Phoenix, then he would have went inside the main base, and Trap would have nothing to defend against the Mutas.
Another Phoenix going down there, but the damage has definitely been done. And with the Phoenixes out, and I think he can build more easily right now, as long as he can properly understand what Solar wants to commit to, he should be able to deal with it no problem.
Yeah, well, he only has 3 Phoenix right now. The Blink did finish. He's getting a little more cannons, but in Heart of the Swarm, because it has the speed regen, because it has a speed buff. Look at this. Even if there's like a couple of Phoenixes out there, the Mutas can take it out easily.
Yeah, those Phoenix are getting quite low, but look at this. It looks like Trap, he wants to go for the attack, forcing the game into either a base trace scenario, or he's going to force Solar to simply back up and defend. But this army, it's simply too powerful. Look, with the reinforcement Stalkers, I think that Trap can defend at home in addition to doing damage to Solar's economy. But, oh, look at that, the recall! He kills off the expansion, and then he recalls back. He's going to be able to kill off the Mutas. He's going to be able to kill the Roaches. Excellent force fields go down, and he's going to be able to defend this base.
That's why so many Zerg players were crying about the Mothership Core when I was talking to them, because they could just recall any second and defend their main base.
But unfortunately for Trap, he did lose a good amount of units there. He lost 2 sentries, a couple of Stalkers, and an Immortal essentially for free there. They weren't in range. Oh, those sentries, they're going to get sniped off there. They were full on energy as well. And now the Muta count, if it gets too much higher, it's going to become very hard for Trap to deal with.
Yeah, and also that's not that many sentries for the force fields against the Zerglings. So if Sola just stacks up good amount of Zerglings, a good amount of Mutas, and tries to surround it from the back, he can actually take it out. And look at this, taking out the Nexus. Well, seems like he doesn't even want to go for it. He wants to go for the killing blow because his opponent is actually taking down the Spine Crawlers and the Natural.
So this is essentially turned into a quasi-base trace scenario. Both players have strong armies and are kind of trying to defend. They're trying to attack. That third base is essentially toast there. 100 health left on that. But the Natural for Solar, I think it's going to get taken out as well. But the Cybernetic score goes down. There's going to be no answer to these Mutas now. And I think that Solar, he's in a pretty good position to actually win this game.
Yeah, if he can just actually snipe the Stalkers, then he could win the game no problem at this point. No Cybernetic core, you know, even if he remakes one, it's going to be a long time before those get out. So many Spine Crawlers, and those Spine Crawlers will be able to defend against some of the Stalkers and the Immortals, and all Sola has to do is once Trap decides to attack that base, just pull back the Mutas and take out all the Immortals.
I still feel like it was a bit of a mistake to not get any more Phoenix in this match up when he saw those Mutas come out. And, you know, he is able to deny mining at the third base there, but the problem with that is eventually the Mutas are going to come back, and they're going to be able to take out those Stalkers.
Yeah, I actually think Trap is dead. I mean, he did recall, but he lost so many probes on Nexus at the Natural and the third. Now, I mean, the situation right now
is he going to be able to get it?
Two bases to Blink,
and
he gets it at the last second.
Well, and those 2 Stalkers are going to die as well. Both players down the 1 base essentially at this point. This game is absolutely crazy here. We do have the Natural being remade for, I'm assuming both players are going to remake their Naturals any second here. Protoss player has managed to do that, but in this kind of base trace scenario, I feel like the player with the air control, the Mutas, is definitely going to have a nice advantage here, and he already has the +1 attack upgrade. We don't really have any Phoenixes on the field to deal with this Mutalist count, and that's just a scary amount of Mutas.
Yeah, I mean, look at this, 23 Mutas to 14 Stalkers. The sheer number. The Mutas are pretty much outnumbering his opponent's number of Stalkers. There's also a few Zerglings here and there, and the player who needs more base for the economy to get those, you know, more expensive units out right now is the Protoss player.
Absolutely. The Protoss player does need the better economy to really make something happen here. And I feel like all Solar really has to do at this point is, you know, try to, you know, be annoying, keep Trap in his base, and you know, essentially just you know play it safe. Because if you look at the main base for both players, they're essentially mined out, so they really are relying on their other bases for that income.
Yeah, just mass Mutas and then swarm in, and it should be good enough.
Yeah, you could even pick off some probes here if you wanted, but it looks like Solar, it's still not really committing to any attack here. He is going to move in at the main base, but he's going to realize there's like no probes there, so you know, what are you going to really do in that scenario?
Well, pick up some pylons and pretty much pick up anything you can before everything goes down. That infestation pit was almost dead.
Did I see a bug where the Spine Crawler rooted without creep at the Natural?
Maybe.
That's what it looks like to me. Well, maybe we'll get a...
or maybe it was over there for a long time.
Maybe. That's possible. Okay, now it's reading. I guess that was just a little graphical glitch there. Anyway, I think the Protoss player plans on taking his third base momentarily here. And we do have the Zerg player. He remade his third base, and he's getting his natural up as well. And just this mute account, man, it's just... As a Protoss player, this is where it's just like get to the point where like, well, what do you do now?
It's like, you know you're almost dead, but you still want to stay in the game, but, you know, it's really hard situation for you as the Protoss player.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have that Phoenix count to match the Muta production, or if you don't have the Storm, once you get like up to 20 plus Mutas, I mean, it's just so hard for Protoss to really use the Stalkers effectively against the Mutas.
Yeah, I mean, when I was talking to some of the players in Hardwood Swarm, the Stalkers are not enough to deal against the Mutas, even if you have a lot of them. And look at this, the Mutas are actually attacking right now. Zergling's actually supporting from the ground. And look at those Mutas go, just wiping out every single Stalker. That's at the third base.
GG! Solar, after an intense back-and-forth match, quasi-base race happening, both players losing a lot of economy, but in the end, the Mutalists prove superior, and Solar takes the first game for Samsung Khan, and they're going to have now a 1-0 edge over STX Seoul.
I'm surprised that Solar kept his composure throughout the whole game, but I'm also quite surprised that Trap thought that he won the game too early.
Yeah, I think he got a little bit overconfident after that attack. The thing is, if you do a timing on a Zerg, but he survives and he like just overmade drones, he's still actually like just ahead because he has such an insane economy.
And also, you need to check out